Hi everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. We're working on line breaks in this month of revision. And today yesterday we took a look at what happens if you kind of group things together. But you can do more with the line break than that. You can work on people's unconscious. And what I mean by this is generally we read in chunks. We don't read like that, we read like that, or I guess from your point of view it'd be like that, or like that. We read in chunks, and it's not just words that we read, it's phrases, especially when those phrases are familiar. You don't have to read all of the, you know what the is, you just right and go right through it. Now if you break that up, it's going to frustrate your readers, and frustration's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a very good thing when you're dealing with poems of frustration and of pain, and so many of our poems are about that thing, right? Because that's a lot of the reason why we write sometimes, is so we can get to that emotional place and kind of understand it for ourselves and have other people share that moment with us. And so frustration, if you want to create this frustration, if you want to help develop that feeling of loss, sometimes what you can do is break up the line in different things, doing exactly the opposite of what I said to do yesterday. And so your lines don't have great meaning unto themselves. In fact, to get to the meaning, you kind of have to go to the next line, and it makes it very, very difficult. You can imagine if you broke the word anticipation up into 5 different lines, what that would do to your readers. If you ever saw the movie with Tim Curry, what was that name of the movie? Rocky Horror Picture Show. You'd have about the same effect that he has when he sings the word anticipation. He goes anticipation, right? And you've got that sort of breathless anticipation that you get when he does that. And that's what you would do if you broke up that thing. Anyway. That's what we're going to try today. We're going to try to do what you would think of as rough breaks, right? Rather than the smooth break that adds meaning, we're going to create the rough break that takes meaning away, that makes it more difficult for our readers to get what we're going after, right? Now, if you're going to do this effectively, because it's more difficult for them to get where you're after, you have to have a damn fine poem, right? And if you don't have that, they're not going to stick with you. And it has to be something... generally the breaks happen when that moment of anticipation is coming, right? And so you're going to see this, you know that he's about to go into the barn where everybody's been murdered before. And so you break at that point, right? When they're like, and he went into the break barn, right? Okay, so let's think of what would happen. Yesterday we did do not go gentle into that good night, and I changed the breaks. What if we did it like this? Do not go gentle into, new line, that good night. Old age, new break, should rage and burn at break of day, right? So it's broken in strange places, and your reader is always sort of with you and going, oh God, what's going on? And that feeling starts here, and when they figure out what happens, it expands. You know, they figure out the pain of the poem. It's like, oh, this is so true. They're already on their way to heartbreak when you've done that. Okay, a little note about this. Use it sparingly. Right? If your entire poem is hard to read and confusing, nobody's going to stick with you. But those key moments sometimes make them really powerful. If you've ever read my poem, Putting on a Window, I've got one rough break that I really just can't stand, and it's there forever because it's out there in the world. And I wish I'd used it more sparingly than I did. And I was mostly just counting syllables at that point, and made it a really, really terrible break. It breaks on the, and it's just like the worst place in the world it could possibly break. So use it sparingly and be careful with it. Okay, anyway, that's 30 Days Until Done for today. Post down, maybe not the entire poem, but part of what you're doing down below, and we'll take a look at it. I've really loved what, Mouse, you've been doing, and Jean, you've been doing, and Joan, too. You send me your stuff, and there are a couple of other people who are sending me stuff, and I'm appreciating, I'm really enjoying reading this stuff. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow, 30 Days Until Then.